The Las Vegas Raiders made plenty of changes to their offense this offseason, bringing in a new offensive coordinator in Chip Kelly and a brand new quarterback in Geno Smith, and it worked out pretty well after 1 week because they beat the New England Patriots 20-10 in Week 1. To break it all down right now, here is Dalton Wasserman. Dalton, Geno looked pretty good in Week 1.
He sure did. I think he was really the reason they won this football game, along with their defense that played better than I thought it would. But on a day when, look, they're going out to New England for a long East Coast trip. It was raining out there. The weather wasn't great. The Raiders didn't run the football very well. Geno, the veteran presence, the credibility he brings to this offense is really what carried them into this win against a pretty good defense. I thought New England on defense looked good too, but Geno, just the veteran savvy that he has and the ability to throw the ball vertically is really what carried them to a win here.
I mean, look at these stats right here. I mean, he is playing like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. We saw this before in Seattle, too, and now in a new home in Las Vegas, he's playing just as well.
Absolutely, and what you see, first of all, I mean, the 7th best passing grade in the NFL this week, and then again, just Geno's ability to get vertical, right? Just to get vertical, throwing the deep ball. He's the highest graded deep passer in the NFL over the last 3 years. Yeah, and you see here, 2nd in yards per attempt, 2nd in average depth of target, couple of big-time throws in this game, and again, adverse conditions, pretty good defense, in the rain, on the road, he made it happen down the field, and I think there's some very specific ways that he did it, because I think one thing that we see here with Geno, not only is he a talented vertical passer that we've seen the last couple of years, but man, him and Chip Kelly were in sync, and I think everything that Chip Kelly brings to this offense as their play caller is very important. So one thing I noticed unique about this team this week in Vegas here is 3-by-1 formations, trips formations, 3 receivers on one side, 1 solo on the backside. It could be a receiver. In this offense, it certainly could be a tight end with Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer. Look at this. In Week 1, the highest percentage of their plays in 3-by-1 formations, almost 62%. Geno with the 3rd highest rate of his dropbacks in 3-by-1 formations. And then you look at the dominance here. This is what's really setting Geno up for success. If you're Chip Kelly, 85 passing grade when throwing out of these 3-by-1s, 16-20 for 265 yards, most in the NFL this week. Just a ridiculous level of performance when they come out in these formations. Chip Kelly is creating opportunities for a really good vertical passer through his formations and alignments, and then the play calls that come along with it. So some of it, we're going to get into here. It's going to look a little familiar to both of us being on the college show, but Chip Kelly did a great job here of setting things up for Geno for success.
You just mentioned it before, Chip Kelly was at the college level last year. He was the Ohio State offensive coordinator. Ironically, Dalton, one of his star players on that Ohio State offense was Geno Smith's cousin, Jeremiah Smith, too. So he's worked with the Smiths before, and he's done really well with both of them.
Let's have some fun. Hopefully both of these guys are watching this, and certainly it's something that's defensive coordinators are going to be keeping track of. So let's go back to the Rose Bowl playoff game against Oregon. Huge game, undefeated team in Oregon. Chip Kelly's not afraid to attack those. So some things I want you to see here. 3-by-1 formation. 1, 2, 3 to the left, and then your backside tight end to the right. There's my 3-by-1. And the one thing I'm going to say about Chip Kelly, too, in these 3-by-1s is the backside guy, so often he's condensed in some way, okay? He's either nubbed here because he's in line and he's on attached to the line of scrimmage, or maybe get a little cut split out here, but you're not going to see that backside guy too often be way out here outside the numbers and not a factor in the play. You've got a 3-by-1, and it's always condensed on this backside. That's going to be something we'll keep track of a little bit later. But the main route that I want to show you here, and here's, again, Jeremiah Smith. There's Geno's cousin. He's a blazer. He's going to run this deep over route, okay? And he's got 2 jobs on this route. You get up on this safety, and you cross his face to get to this opposite shoulder, and then you haul your way over to the opposite number, all right? What's going to happen with the rest of this concept? This tight end, he's going to check in protection, then maybe he'll flare out for a check down. This receiver outside of this deep over, he's going to have something solo, either a curl or maybe an in-cut, out-cut. He's going to have something solo out there. They got different options with that. And then you're going to see, just to draw this corner, the tight end is going to run across her. So what Jeremiah Smith has, basically, especially with no press coverage up there, nobody's going to touch him really, a free angle to this free safety. Get on his opposite shoulder and haul to the other side, okay? Here we go. Howard drops back. We get to the top of the drop. You see this developing. Here goes the corner with the crosser going this way. Here's the solo on the backside. And what you're getting already, a little blurry here, but here's Jeremiah Smith already getting to the end. I don't know what the safety's doing turning this way, because Jeremiah is crossing his face, no question. Look at this. Protection is fantastic. And you know what? We talked about Geno Smith being the highest graded deep passer in the NFL the last 3 years. Will Howard was the highest graded deep passer in college football last year. Why? Because of concepts like this, he already sees it. Here's the first look. All Jeremiah has to do from here is get to this opposite number. Once he gets there, touchdown. That simple, right? All right, let's go up to week 1 now with Chip Kelly and with Geno Smith. All right, we're down in the red zone, but you've got a very similar concept. Once again, 1, 2, 3 by 1 up top. Here's the one down low. There's Brock Bowers, and that's a big problem because Brock Bowers is really the best player on this team, right? But you've got him split. Look how close he is to the line of scrimmage still. He's not way out here where he's not a factor. So you're pulling leverage, and what's going to happen? You got 2 high safeties, but this is a weird look, and this is where having a veteran quarterback who can read defenses is big time. We're showing pressure up front. Look how flat this alignment is. Max, this is going to be a 0 blitz coming out of this look. You've got the slot coming. You've got these 2 coming. These 2 are going to drop into the hole here, but they're big defensive tackles. I'm not too worried about them if I'm getting vertical. Here goes everybody blitzing, and then you've got 1 on Bowers there. So what's going to happen? Drop down for man coverage on a safety. That's Trey Tucker. I would argue him and Dante Thornton, you got a lot of speed on this offense. Man coverage. This safety's actually going to rotate all the way down on the tight end, and then we're going to corner right here on Brock Bowers. So, same concept. What's going to happen? Trey Tucker, blazing fast. All he's got to do, get to the inside shoulder of the safety, get to the opposite number. We've got a solo in-cut back here if we want to go to the backside. Bowers is underneath once again on a crosser. Same concept. Here's the rotation. 0 coverage. Man-to-man up top. Okay, that's my backside route. Inside coverage, not worried about. But Look how quickly Trey Tucker got to the inside shoulder. 1-on-1 out here with Bowers. He's running some sort of in-cut or curl to take this space and leave it open instead of getting vertical. At this point, again, clean pocket. Geno's got his first look with a blazing fast player, 1-on-1 with a safety, and Tucker, all he's got to do now is, again, get to the opposite number. It's the exact same look that we saw at Ohio State. The safety stumbles. He's got 10 yards of separation. Easy. That's Geno's first touchdown for the Raiders. His first touchdown for the Raiders is exactly what I just showed you. His cousin was running at Ohio State last year with Chip Kelly.
It looks the exact same, too. Like the same exact part of the end zone, everything.
Everything. There's a fundamental way to do things in Chip Kelly's offense. So now, this is very early in the game. This is the Raiders' first drive. Now we're going to go back to a similar concept again. Once again, here we go. Process 1, 2, 3 by 1. Okay? And again, we're still condensed. What you're going to get here, 2 high safety. Look, this looks kind of weird, okay? But what's going to happen is I want you to notice something. This is man-to-man, straight up. This is man-to-man out here, up there on Jack Bech, straight up. Now, the 2 most experienced players that we're used to in this Raiders offense are Jakobi Meyers and Brock Bowers. What you're going to get here is a bracket on these 2 guys. This guy is going to have the outside shoulder of Meyers. This safety is going to have the inside shoulder. They're going to bracket Meyers this same exact route. He's going to try to get to the deep over and beat him across the face. But if you bracket him, then he can't necessarily do that. Thornton's going to follow here on an in-cut. Okay, maybe we don't have this. We get to the backside on this in-cut. Jack Bech is going to have a curl on the backside. We'll get back to that in a minute. The bracket's also here with Bowers. Here's an outside shoulder defender. Here's an inside shoulder defender he's going to pass him off to because Bowers is coming across there. So I don't have Bowers. I got him on the double team. When I see this post snap, I've got Meyers double teamed as well. So Geno, understanding this, and we already hit the deep shot, so New England's trying to prevent this. Here we go. You can see it right here. Here's Jakobi Meyers here. Boom, right there. Double covered, right? Got the pass off on Bowers. We could go here. There's some space, but we got some leverage going there. So you get here. Okay, the deep over is not there like it was on the touchdown. Bowers, maybe, but this is also 3rd and 10. I want to throw it past the sticks. What do I got up here? I got Jack Bech. All of a sudden making some work happen on this curl route at about 12 yards here. Boom, he's going to come back. You can see Geno. Look at Geno. Look to the over. You can see his eyes. He's working front side to back because he just threw a touchdown on it. Well, let's see if I can't throw another one. If not, we're going to get to the backside. Here's backside dig following. That's not open either. Too short on 3rd and 10 to go to Bowers, but Jack Bech wins the battle on the outside. Look at the separation we got here. First down, okay? And he turns this in for like a 23-yard gain, right? So now you talk about the base concept and the deep shots. That's great. Knowing what to do when you don't have your first read is big time. Last thing on this with the same concept. Now, understanding what makes you a good quarterback is the ability to make the throws, right? What makes you a professional, an NFL quarterback, and a veteran quarterback like that is the ability to understand situations. All of these plays so far for the Raiders, the first 2, they've been 3rd down. The first one was 3rd and 11. The coverage told us to take a shot. The last one was 3rd and 10. Let's get to the backside throw past the sticks. This is 3rd and 19. This game is 14-10. This is 3rd and 19. We're in borderline field goal range, Max. So understanding now, let's look at this coverage. Too high. For the Patriots, there's no messing around here. They're not disguising, bracketing, nothing. This is straight quarters. We're just trying not to give up the big shot on 3rd and 19. We're just going to sit way, way back. We're going to sit back, curl flat out here, sit in a hole here. Curl flat there. They're going to sit back. They're just going to go, we're not giving up 3rd and 19 because we know Geno's got it in him. So, once again, we're going to do it one more time. 3 by 1. 1, 2, 3 by 1. And you notice here the X solo Dante Thornton up there, not too far from the line of scrimmage. Cut splits, 3 by 1 formation. What's going to happen here? Here's Trey Tucker again. We saw him score a touchdown. Get to the other side. Now, this safety's going to pick him up, and rightfully so. He's sitting back, preventing 3rd and 19. Down here, we're getting vertical. Somewhere in here with this route, we could go to the backside, but then we've got this here that's happening up top. But the one thing I want you to notice here, now Michael Mayer's going to drop in, and he's just going to check down underneath. Remember before I mentioned there's a check down also in this concept too. So, long as we protect with the 4 guys rushing, we're going to be all right. Notice the defense, all right? Look how far back they are. Line of scrimmage is here at the 44. Nobody's within 9 yards of it, right? And if we're talking about a 14-10 game where 3 points on 3rd and 19 is very, very valuable, well then Geno, look at his eyes. He's not even, look at, Trey Tucker's not even gotten anywhere near the safety yet, and Geno sees this drop back and he's already checking down to Michael Mayer here going, you know what? You don't want to give me the touchdown? Fine. I'll take the 3 right here. We're going to get 15 yards because you just gave it to me, right? And we're going to get 3 points. And in a rough and tumble game, we're going to go ahead 17-10. The ability and the veteran savvy to just have the discipline to check this ball down. Is this a highly graded throw in our system? No, it's honestly a 0 throw. It's a neutral throw because it's easy and he's wide open. But this is a positive play when you talk about you just added 3 points to the board because you're reading the defense out properly, right? We already know they're sitting this far back. Just give it to them, and all of a sudden, Mayer catches this at the 40. He's got another 9-10 yards of space in front of him. You just earned your team 3 points because you're reading out the defense properly based on the concept you have. And New England, because they were so fearful of it early in the game with the touchdown, everything changed for them every single time they saw the same concept.
All I can keep thinking about is, can you imagine if Jeremiah Smith somehow gets drafted to the Raiders in a couple of years?
To be honest with you, they might be, with Geno playing like this, they might be too good for it.
That's true. That is very true.
That's the problem is you're going to need maybe a top 3 pick to get him, and it's just, I mean, unless Geno plays till he's 45 and you get a trade or something, but I mean, no, but it's just the synced up nature of this offense between Geno Smith and Chip Kelly this early makes them dangerous. And they didn't even run the football well in this game. This win was Geno Smith and their defense playing well against New England's offense, but Geno was fantastic in week 1, and him and Chip Kelly really are in sync right now.
Yeah, they really are. Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator for the Raiders, Geno Smith, the new quarterback for the Raiders, both of them doing very well in their week 1 win over the Patriots.